Welcome back everyone to our Distant Worlds Universe Let's Play. We're up to episode 6 at the moment, and we are 3 colonies in with our home starting system. We've got a good, nice little home fleet of escorts built up here. Our exploration ships are moving out into the galaxy, and we'll just get the game running and see how we go. So what I thought we might do now, we're sort of basically waiting for to sort of see what's more around in the universe, to see sort of where all the other empires are and where some pirates are, and trying to find some other colonies as well to sort of so we can expand out of our starting system. So I thought I might send actually one of our intelligence agents out, the one with this one, espionage and concealment, even though the espionage is negative. So I'll cancel his current mission and send him out to probably the Green Empire, we'll call them that for now, and try and steal their galaxy map. So it's 76%, which is not too bad. Might actually double check with the other empire that we can see at the moment, see if that's any better. Not same at the moment. So sometimes you'll get different probabilities or success chances depending on the race and their like affinity or natural affinity to spying. So we'll just send him out there. And basically we're looking to see if they've actually moved outside their system much either. So we can actually see that they have, if we can just sort of see this little bit here, they've got some mining stations set up over here. So we just want to see basically how far they've explored, and maybe we can, if there's some colonies sort of around this area that they've explored, we can maybe steal those or get there first. So we've discovered the Garden of Arcadia, ancient ruins of a lost civilization at a desert planet. Should we investigate? And yes, we should. So Empire bonus when colonized. Garden of Arcadia provides a unique bonus to any empire that colonizes this planet, and it will give us an empire-wide happiness bonus of 10%. We should immediately send a colony ship to colonize this extremely valuable world and gain this bonus for our empire. So this is where the Garden of Arcadia has been located, and it's got a pirate mining station over it already. Probably trying to get that luxury resources there. So whereabouts is this at the moment? So it's a fair way away from us, actually next to that independent colony of Gizureans. So if we can actually make our way out to this far out, we'll be doing pretty well. Actually no, we won't want to colonize that. It's only 39% quality, so we'll ignore that one. But sometimes it is worth, I mean you could even, like it says, it is a 15, no, it's only a 15% development bonus for colony, but it is an empire-wide happiness bonus. So I mean, sometimes, generally, you wouldn't even come near or wouldn't even consider colonizing planets of 39% quality. But given that we have an empire-wide bonus here, it may actually sort of be worth, if a little bit down the track, if we can make it out this far to actually colonize that planet. So 10% happiness bonus is nothing to sneeze at all. So we'll just see how we go a little bit further. So we're exploring all these planets out here, out sort of this area right now, which is quite good. We have an offer of protection from some pirates, and we'll just double check and see what they've got. So they're up for 43 ships and 2,800 firepower, so we may actually accept that at the moment. It's not too much credits, only 700 a month. And Stone Tower. We've discovered a stone tower, ancient ruins from lost civilization. Should we investigate? And yes, we will. So we found nothing there, which is okay. Construction ship has been completed. I suspect that was repaired, and this one has been repaired or going to be repaired as well. So we've only got 3 construction ships out at the moment. We're just going to jump into our expansion plan and see if we're lacking any resources, and we are in a couple of luxury resources. So there's 2.6k demand that we're unable to fill, and we actually don't have a source of this one at all. So what we're going to do is go by empire priority. And looks like we don't have a source of the Magellas nut, but we do have a source of the opal. It's only 27%, which is not amazing. And it is a fair way out, so it's all the way up here. So it's a long way away from our colony, so probably actually going to leave that for the moment. Probably more important, luxury resources aren't, I guess, critical necessarily to the empire. It's just more around development, bonuses, population growth, and happiness. So probably more concerned with the fact that we're a little bit undersupplied in iridium and steel. So definitely steel. Shouldn't be lacking in steel. So that's not too great. So we're going to go down here, change this to steel, and then change this one to galaxy priority. And this will show us all sources of steel in the galaxy that we currently know about. We'll sort this by distance to get the ones closest to us. So we see there's a lot of sources of steel. And what we're looking for is one which are quite a high production rate. So it's 89% is pretty good. We want one in the 90s if we can get it. Nope, can't find one at the moment. So 89% may be the go. 85, 46, let's check these couple here. And 70, nope. So the 89% that we had up here, this one here, so it's actually got a source of gold as well, which is quite good. So the green one actually signifies it's within one of our systems. So this one must be just outside of it. So what we're going to do is queue up our nearest construction ship to build a mining station there. And the same with iridium. We're going to try to look for sources of iridium. And it's got steel and iridium. So that's actually quite a good one there. So we're actually going to queue this up as well. So we're going to have good sources of steel and iridium there. Unless we can find a really good source of iridium, we'll probably go for that one. Yep, that's going to be the go. Cool, so we'll queue that one up as well, and that should sort out those two needs. So, exploration ship has been completed, which has been repaired, and our home fleet's still doing pretty well. 1280 firepower. And don't really need any additional military ships at the moment, and I'm sort of thinking that if we build them, we're just sort of going to be paying maintenance, and we haven't encountered any other empires, and it's probably not worth really expanding our military too far just to combat the pirates right at this time. We've got a new empire over this way, so that's just an exploration ship, because we had actually visibility. Vicious rocks, I know the ones we took on before, and no, we're not going to. Because we already sourced or could already see this this system, we can actually see that empire in there. So they're quite low population. They do have a couple of colonies though, whereas everybody else doesn't. So they've actually expanded outside, or at least within their system. Military strength's only 440, so it's not too amazing, but it's not too bad at the moment. And they don't like us either, so instinctively dislike us, and the ignorance of alien ways causes us to distrust you. So even if we weren't going to be playing militaristic, it's probably likely we wouldn't have too many friends. So especially on the higher difficulties that we're playing on very hard, a lot of the alien races instinctively dislike you, like sort of from the outset, and especially because we're playing on reckless aggression, so that sort of impacts that as well. So they're offering protection. We'll just check them before we reply. 34 ships, which is quite a bit, but only 786 firepower. So we're actually going to say no, and we should be able to deal with them if they try and become a problem to us. And they've got a mining station out there. Can actually capture mining stations if we ever wanted to, but it's probably not really. We actually are paying them for the moment, and this is the first time we've had this one come up. So a lot of the time, or sometimes, you have an alien empire actually pay you credits. So it's basically what we can do. We can sort of do the same thing. If we go and open and start talking to them, we can send them a gift, and it's basically a relationship boost. So they're sort of basically doing the same thing, and you'll definitely notice it a lot more when you're far more powerful than a lot of other empires, and they're sort of trying to doing it to basically try and buy you off and toward you often, so they don't attack you or you don't attack them. So you don't have to. There's not really a way that you can turn it down, so it's sort of just an automatic thing, which is fine with me. And we found a secluded library, and we're going to investigate this one, and we found nothing there. And we just had noticed that we had missile bombers. Finish research up here. And so what we're going to look at here next, I think, is, where are we? I think we might grab a couple of these techs and then work our way towards planetary defense units. And the reason that we're going to do that is that we can replace our infantry units. And from here on in, we'll basically only be using our infantry units for occupying conquered worlds. So when you take over a planet, we'll get to a bit later. But when you take over a planet, so our main invasion force will be comprised of armoured units, which we've built a armoured factory for, so we can construct them here, armoured forces. And when you take over a planet, there's a very high chance that they will revolt at some stage. So you have to leave a pretty sizable, depending on the size of the planet, you can sometimes have to leave a pretty sizable occupation or occupying force on that planet. So we actually use infantry as our occupying force. So they're quite cheap, don't take up a lot of room, and they're pretty good defense. So if a world revolts, they should do their job pretty well. So that's what we're going to use them for. So we'll get those technology built, and then we replace our infantry with planetary defense units, and we will then be able to get rid of our infantry. So we've been offered another Empire contact, so we're going to say yes, and we've been the Banoseret territory. So they really don't like us, troubled by your poor reputation. So I have no idea, why do we have a poor reputation? We don't. So they're just being a little bit pedantic. Instinctively dislike us again. 2 colonies, 4.2 billion, and military strength of 36. So they've probably only got 1 ship. So they're not going to be too much to worry about at the moment. So I haven't actually come across a really strong race yet, which is quite interesting. So I know they're going to be out there, but it probably is likely that they're not too close to it. So it might be sort of based in the outer rim out here, which is not always that bad. So we've had our component prefabrication completed, which means we can put our ship sizes up to size 500, and that could be a good sort of boost or a good prompt to actually go into our state ships and modify our frigates. So what we're going to do is actually make our frigates. So we'll have capital ships, which we've actually got access to now that we've increased our size up. So we've actually unlocked a cruiser and a capital ship. So I generally don't. I know some people sort of have roles for use all of these ships. Generally, I find it's quite easier to stick to sort of probably about when we get carriers. We'll probably only have 4 different classes of ships or sub roles. So we use escorts for our sort of planetary defense and system defense. Frigates will sort of be our main our battleship, so that'll be the one with the most firepower. Capital ships, I mean, some people are obviously thinking capital ships should probably be the most powerful. Generally, I'll sort of fit out frigates with a sort of a couple of types of weaponry and make them quite powerful. And capital ships I was going to fit out with, make them basically sort of think of them as like tanks in like an MMO. They'll soak up a lot of damage and a lot of shields, a lot of armor, and then they might even put some fighters on there and things like that, and have a few different types of weaponry. So frigates will basically be sort of a damage producer, and then the capital ships will be a little bit more of a soak up the damage, and then our carriers will be sort of basically exactly or fully loaded with fighters. So what we'll do is just automatically upgrade our frigates. We're going to manually upgrade here. And in a hyperdrive, add in just 100 armor and probably 360, 480. Shields, we'll have to modify that depending on how we go. And I'm going to add in another reactor because I think we're going to need it. So what have we got at the moment in terms of weaponry? We've only got 8 Maxwell's blasters, so we're going to add on 2 more to make an even 10. And we're going to add on another 5, which is 340, so we can get up to 500. We just have to keep an eye on that mark. Going to add 10 concussion missiles, so we're up to 175 power, so we're 110 over the firepower of our frigates, so definitely a lot stronger. We are going to actually put an energy collector on this ship, and that's 448. Engines, I mean, it is quite slow, so I'm tempted to put on a few more engines, but in most battles it's not really that important, especially given we've got missiles that have quite a long range. So we're just going to add on a few life support and HAB modules to give us up there. We don't really need anything else. We don't need it. Probably not worth putting any like sort of proximity arrays, which is basically radar for ships, or anything like that on. Don't need this. So we're probably going to load it up with more weaponry. I'm not going to put railguns on here because, or am I? No, I'm not at the moment. Probably maybe when we upgrade our railguns a little bit further. I think we get more bang for our buck for our Maxwell's blasters at the moment. So we're on 20, so we're up to 479. So we add another 480, and we're going to have to add on another reactor, so we have to take our size down a bit. So we're 501, 286, 263, maximum energy for our weapons, only 1.6 for our shields, so that's fine. So energy is fine, so what we're going to do is actually take off one armor. Take us down to 500, and we're set. So that should be all good for now. I'm going to leave capital ships. We'll set those up later once we're a little bit more advanced, but we don't really need them at the moment. So what we're going to do here is actually build a whole stack of our frigates. And how many will we build? So we'll build up 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, and 16, 17, 19, 20. Just made an even 20 actually, so that'll be our first fleet. So I've got that queued up, and we'll have our fleet come in, and we'll go military ships, sort by fleet, and just select all the ones that aren't in a fleet, and we'll go new fleet. And we're going to make this into first fleet, given that we've got our home fleet. So that's set up there, and it's on automated at the moment, so I'm just actually going to click stop, and so just take that off automated. So whenever you give an order or a direct order to an automated ship or a fleet, it actually takes them off. So we've counted in the Empire, which we've counted a couple. Oh no, just one. Another monetary gift, 682 credits, thank you. And we got another one here. So they've actually got 5 colonies. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a stronger race. So 5 colonies, 6.6 billion, and military sex of 658. So, and they really hate us. Instinctively dislike us, minus 33. So definitely not be friends with them either. So we've got our intelligence agent. They must have been killed actually, I didn't see that. Where are we? Messages. Well, messages, character killed. So agent has been captured while preparing to steal the galaxy map, which is a bummer. We knew that's a chance, but hopefully we get another one soon. At least we've got that one there, which is counterintelligence. So we always want to have at least one intelligence agent on counterintelligence. So if we don't have that, we might be in a little bit of trouble in terms of sabotage. Especially a lot of these races don't like us, so they'll be definitely more tempted to try and attack us through spies and sabotage some of our building projects or our mining bases. I've come across a secluded palace, so I'll investigate it. And galactic history. So I probably won't read through all of this at the moment. If you feel like reading it, and just pause the game and or pause the video and have a look. Basically, it's sort of just going through this. The Shakhtar Axis is it's one of the story missions, or the sort of the campaign missions that work in the background, and it's sort of something that really doesn't come into the game until later on, and yeah, so that should be pretty good for now. So we're back here, and just had to take a sort of a short pause in the video, probably you won't notice it. And we're back. So a lot of our frigates have been completed, and we've discovered another independent colony, and they're also of Gizureans. So where are they located? They're over here, and they've just been raided. And 1.3 billion, which is really good. So that'd be quite a decent colony if we could ever get there. So actually a long way up here. So definitely the way we're going to want to expand, if we can, is out this way. Although we've explored a lot of these planets, I'll just have a look, see if we have any colonies. So we actually do have a few colonies, which is quite interesting. So where's our first one? So we've got a 62% quality planet, 21k size. That's really not a great planet, so we'll probably stick over that one. 30k 68 is not too great either. This one over here, this is quite a decent colony. So 30k, 82% is not brilliant, but it's a decent sized planet, so I have a decent sized population. This is sort of down on our bottom left, which is not ideal. If there's any off to our right, which there's not, so it would be good to have sort of one over here so we can expand out a little bit. So what we're actually going to do is going to queue up a colony ship for this one, and then after that's done and sent out, if we don't have any other colonies built up, we actually may colonize one of these planets. So it looks like they're within the same system, so I probably need to colonize one of them, given they're not great planets, and we'll go for this one here. And so we'll do that for now and see how we go there. And where are we now? So out exploring. A lot of these systems have been explored now. We haven't explored down this way though, so if our explorers' exploration ships don't get out this way, you may have to sort of track them. Been offered a colony location, F1, so that's quite a way away from us, so all the way up here, so that's okay. And Omega Major. What are we doing now? So, what I might actually do now, I think I'm going to queue up another couple of construction ships. And the reason I'm going to do that now is if we go to our main planet, which is this one, has the fastest speed. So you look at these other planets, only speed of 95. So definitely want to queue it up on our main planet. Oops, do not do that. Remove, yes. Construction ships. So purchase a couple of those, and they'll show up here. And what we want to do now is actually go down to resort locations. And where are these? That one's all the way up here. That's a long way away. Where is that? Wow, long way away. This one's here, which is quite close, which is good, and this one is also relatively close. What I think we're going to do, we're going to queue up this one. So we just click on the entry in here, and we can come down here and queue a construction ship to build a resort base. And we're also going to do the same with this one and this one as well. Even though it is quite a way away, I think it's probably worth it just to queue up that one there. So we're going to queue those up, and at the same time we're going to go into research locations. Actually, we won't do that quite yet. Wait until our resort bases are finished, and then we can go in probably next episode and set up some dedicated research bases, and we can get those sorted. So we've got our first fleet set up. We'll get to that in a minute. We've got a grand hall has been discovered, and do we want to investigate? Yes. Technology recovered. So we've advanced our understanding of accelerated shield recharge, and it's also given us a beacon location, which is in sector F3. So if you have a look in F3, which is this one over here, so probably won't get to that for a while, but it's there if we need it. There's another pirate base out here. So these are the ones that we're paying off. Yep. So how strong are they at the moment? 33 ships, 3,000 firepower, so relatively strong. They've actually got 7 controlled colonies, so they should have a really good income, especially with our 3,000 credits. And the fact that they're controlling colonies, so pirates, in case you're not aware, pirates, if they control colonies, they actually get basically a percentage of the tax or the GDP from that planet. So they get quite sort of a steady income there, and also from us, they should be having quite a bit of money. And they've destroyed quite a few ships, 81 ships as well, captured 7 bases, 25 successful raids. They've been doing quite well, and they've got 20 smuggling freighters. So I think they're going to be quite powerful later on. So our first fleet has been fully built. So you can see all down here, they're all built. And we have a strength of 4,000. So 4,000 firepower is a lot, an extremely large amount for this stage of the game. So we're coming to our Empire comparison, military strength. We are a long way away, a long way in front of our other enemies as well. Given the fact that one fleet here has 4,000 firepower, and the Ancient Guardians have 49,000 firepower. And that will keep building up over the game as they build and develop as well. So generally they sort of peak out around the high, sort of 80, 90, even up to 100,000 firepower sometimes, depending on how they go. But they are limited to one planet, so there sort of is a limit to how strong they can get. But for most of the game, they'll be vastly more powerful than everybody else. So we're doing quite well at the moment. Once we have we also had our weapons platform has been built. So if you come into the system here, where are we? We can scroll, and Aileron 3. So this is our orbital or our defense base. This has been built now. So it's got 5,400 shields, which is a lot. It's got some armor on there, and 310 firepower. So basically this is going to be able to protect our planet in case anything comes along, which is good. So protect our colony. So if they get raided, it can be a bit of a drawback. So we've got 20% population growth, which is quite good. So that's definitely going to grow up quite quickly. Been offered protection from the Mercador. They're 69 ships. Given that we actually are quite relatively powerful, we're actually going to start ignoring some of these and saying no. Been offered a colony location, G4, so that might be a little bit away. Yep, it's okay. And offer protection, we'll go no again. Now we've been given a monetary gift of 6,000 credits, which is pretty good, so I'll say thank you. And you hate us, so you won't want to trade territory maps. Nope. That's okay. And one of our exploration ships is under attack from pirate, but that's all the way over here. That's okay. Don't worry about two, but can't really do anything about that. And new empire. I assume they're where are they? Nope. Well, they're not a main empire anyway, so there must be a Newton minor on the loan network. Okay, yep. Yeah, so they are pirate one as well. Pirate group or a gang, whatever you would like to call them. It offered another empire contact. We'll take it. And 4.5 billion, 526, and they definitely hate us as well. That's okay. Offer protection, no. So I'm going to decline all of these offers of protection at the moment, given that we're only in one system, and we have two really strong fleets within that system. So even our home fleet, I would have thought, is going to be able to combat anything that the pirates throw at us, and if not, we've got our fleet here, which is definitely going to be take on anything that they throw at us at the moment. If a particular pirate base or pirate group becomes a threat or becomes a problem, they start raiding some of our mining bases and things like that, then we'll definitely look at paying them off at that stage, given that we still have quite a good cash flow. And we are spending quite a lot. I mean, it's only 82,000k. I mean, we have heaps of cash in hand, which is great. But this, you got to think, this cash flow as well, we're actually paying out 76k in pirate protection, which is a lot of money. But it's okay at the moment because we don't need the extra money. So what's going to happen later, once we build up a little bit more and come into contact with some other empires, we're going to want to vastly expand our fleets and start invading and taking on some other empires. And then we're going to want this cash flow, and we're going to actually cancel all our pirate protection and get that extra cash flow. So we've got around 150,000 K cash flow there, which is good. And so we can utilize that later on, but for the moment it's probably just easier for us to not have to deal with all the pirate factions. So we had a colony governor up here at our homeworld, so Element 2. Coming to here, we've got a colony governor. So colony governors sit on, so our leader, I didn't explain this before, but a leader, basically all the bonuses you get from your leader are empire-wide. So the population growth bonus of 50% applies to every colony and every planet in our empire. Colony governors sit on single planets, and their traits obviously only apply to that single planet. So I've got colony happiness and population growth, which we can't see at the moment. So once they sort of do their thing for a little while, we'll be able to see what they can do, and we'll maybe transfer that. Given that we don't need population growth, we actually transfer them to another planet once we can see what they do. But we'll leave them where they are for the moment. Space battle debris. Discovered a vast field of space debris in a system. It appears to be the remains of an epic battle. Wreckage includes many powerful military ships that look salvageable. We should send construction ships to this location at once to repair and recover as many of these valuable ships as possible. Repairing the advanced technology in these ships would no doubt provide research bonuses to our empire. It may also be wise to send an armed escort along. We want to dissuade anyone else from claiming these ships. Let's keep this discovery to ourselves. So we come over here, and there's quite a few counters. So that would be just, if we want to go over here. They are all damaged, and damaged ships take quite a long time to repair. So whereabouts is this actually? So it's a long way away, so we're not going to worry about that. So it wouldn't be worth taking all our constructors off and having to send out an escort and all that kind of stuff for these ships. I don't think it's really going to be worth the research bonus, but it's good to know. If you ever sort of think you've lost track of some of these things, you can actually go down here on the left to this tab called Special Locations, and this will give you places like this that actually, so a lot of beacons and stuff will always have these markers, so you won't lose those. Independent planets you can actually identify by these sort of rings around them, which you can actually see that has an independent or a colonized planet, and because it has no sort of empire colors, you can tell it's independent. So we can always see those, but these sort of locations don't sort of have any sort of markers on the big galaxy map. So you can actually come up here and into special locations, and you can keep track of them here. So in case you ever lose track of them. So we're actually uncovering a few pirate hideouts. So 72, we're paying them off though, so that's okay. These are probably going to be things that we want to deal with a little bit later on once we build up a little bit. So we're sort of good to keep track of those. But for now, I think we're better off just expanding focused on ourselves, and then we can build up as much as possible. So we completed enhanced research, and we come into here. Next up is the open trade network, which is what we want. So enhanced research gave us a little bit of an improvement to our commerce center, which is basically a trade bonus. So that's pretty good. We don't have to do anything there. Our race has begun a regular 7-year cycle, and for the next 2 years we're going to have increased population growth. So we come into one of our colonies and we're up to 52% population growth. So this 177 million over the next 2 years is going to expand extraordinarily quickly. Exploration ship under attack, we can't do anything about that. Small freighter is under attack. That's a bit more of a problem, but it's a long way away and we can't do anything about that. So we actually see a fleet from another empire. Not too much of a threat, so they're probably over this way somewhere, logically. So we haven't got any intelligence agents, unfortunately, that we can send. We really need this guy here on counterintelligence, especially he's got counter-espionage skill ability there. So recent space battle caused our ship captain to acquire a new character trait, poor space defender. So obviously he didn't do too well and didn't do his job well, so he's got a bad trait, which is not good, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. So our freighter has been boarded and captured, which isn't that great. So by the Iron Confederation. So who are they? Iron Confederation, A6 ships, 1630, and then we can actually see their base over here. They've got 3 controlled colonies. So where are they? So they have these guys over here, Iron Confederation. And sometimes you've just got to cop losses like that. It's not great. I mean, you've got to look after your private sector, like I sort of mentioned in the first couple of episodes, that you really got to look after them and make sure that they're doing okay. Because if they're doing okay, then generally you're doing okay as well, especially money-wise. So we'll probably just let that one slide for the moment. But if we get any more, it sort of comes a trend of our freighters sort of coming out this way. Then, so he's actually transporting Terralium down, which is a luxury resource, out to the independent planets over here. So that's sort of what he's doing here. And it sort of is good sometimes to just keep track of where your freighters are going. So they're actually coming out here. So it looks like he's just transferring it to actually the starbase, which is quite interesting, or a pirate base. Exploration ship under attack, which is all good. Right, so where are we? Actually at 33 minutes at the moment, so I think we're going to put a cut in at the moment. And we're chugging through the years quite well, 2116. And we're doing along quite well. So I'm going to put a cut in here, pause the game, and I'll see you guys soon.